All right, so yesterday we left it in the middle, and we're going to try to finish the ordeal that we have here with the ego, and we try to make something of a spiritual workout as well. So we were talking yesterday about how do we stand in this whole ordeal with Chet HaEgel, with the sin of the golden calf. And we explained that Am Yisrael, yesterday we explained that one of the reasons Am Yisrael came to a certain breaking point. And we did say, I'm just going a quick overview, that breaking point, it's something that can make you or break you, literally. In other words, you could decide you're reaching your breaking point and you just don't do this anymore. Or you understand that this is your best opportunity to actually start building yourself and to really see who you are. Most of the time, we don't allow ourselves to go beyond that, because either we don't know really who we are, or we just simply give up. So you never build yourself. It's almost like if you ever did a long distance running, and you ran, I don't know, like 10K, not kilometers, miles, right? Or you ran a marathon or something like this. At a certain point, there's going to be a point in where you just say, okay, I just can't do this anymore. My legs are heavy, my back hurts, my neck hurts, I don't know, whatever, my lungs are sore, I cannot run anymore. And then you stop. But that's exactly where you should have pushed yourself further. My teacher always used to say to me, you come to the pain? Good. Now push yourself further. Walk beyond that. That's what makes a regular person to a champion. Your ability to work through the pain. Because people will tell you, get to the pain, stop. No, get to the pain, good, that's a marker. Now push yourself further than that. That's what makes you an Olympic champion. So when you run and all of a sudden you feel tired, you say, you know what, I'm going to run just a little bit more, just a little bit more. All of a sudden you'll come to a point that you don't understand what exactly is happening, but you are on simply cruise control. You would run and you feel that you could really run forever. You can run 2 marathons. It's just a matter of the breaking point. In our lives we have breaking points. And we said yesterday, you want to get a college degree. You want to become let's say for example, a doctor. Okay, you come to become a doctor, and it looks good. In theory, it looks good. It looks terrific. And then you realize that it's hard. It's tough. You have to put in your hours of learning and to stay up and this whole entire thing. And he says, oh man, this is not for me. I just can't do this. And you break and you stop and you never become what you were supposed to do. Take this breaking point, put it as a marker that at this breaking point, your building starts. This is when you start building. It will be like trying to build a new building on shaky foundation. That's not. You need to destroy it. And destroy that shaky foundation is the old you. You who is afraid to get there. And, we don't finish anything. We start things, we start a million things. You don't finish. You start a diet, you never finish. Or what they call a New Year resolution. It's not only a New Year resolution, it's an everyday resolution. You start, you don't finish. 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 Everything. It's like, imagine you build a city that all has buildings, 1-story buildings that are not finished. They're supposed to be skyscrapers. I don't really like skyscrapers, but you get the idea. It's a most ugly sight. It'll be better to have a ghost town, a built ghost town, than half-finished ghost town. It looks horrible. You can't actually put anybody inside. A ghost town, you can move in. So we need to understand that those breaking points are the part of our life which are more capable for building ourselves, because here is where what we call the internal revelation of the true will of your internal will, of what exactly of who you are, what you're about. That's where you're really trying to. It's okay. It's okay. So it's a part of life. That's where you really find out really who you are. So you really get to know yourself. You never push yourself and never test yourself. You don't know who you are. Bnei Israel were impatient. Their breaking point was the fact that Moshe was supposed to go up to the mountains for 40 days. He was late for 6 hours. They miscalculated. That was their breaking point. That was the breaking point. They didn't understand. Listen, let's wait. Let's see what happens. Before we become hasty, all right, let's sit and evaluate. For example, if they would do, all right, Moshe is not coming. Let's gather now. Let's form a committee who would tell us how we're going to handle this situation. Who's going to be the next leader? What did they do? They did nothing. They right away. Moshe is not here. Good. Balagan. Party. Wait. Count until 30. Count until 300. Calculate yourself. You don't shoot from the hip. You don't become so. I mean, there are certain things, and you see that the Torah does not really like you to be so jumpy. There's only one case in which the Torah praised this quickness, and that's the case of Pinchas. All the rest, you need to be calculated. When you make a decision, it has to be Yeshuv Hadat. Yeshuv Hadat means the settling of the mind. You sit down, you have to think about something. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a brain to think with, not to sit on. And just wait. They were impatient. And that's exactly what happened. Right in the footsteps of Har Sinai, Am Yisrael commits the biggest averah possible. We said yesterday that the Gemara refers to it kekala hamezanat tachat chupata, like a bride who betrays her husband under the canopy, they're right there, the rabbi, everything, right underneath there, right in Har Sinai. There was our chuppah. Har Sinai was the canopy, and we betrayed it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu right there, right then. We couldn't wait. Hold on one second. Let's see. Let's think. That generation of Dora Midbar failed numerous times, and every time they fail was with this attitude that they have. They were big whiners, the complainers, the whine. Why me? Why this? Why now? Why do I have to do that? Right? That caused you to do Averah. They complained about Moshe Rabbeinu. They drove him nuts. They drove the guy off the wall. Why do we have to come to the desert? There's no water here. The water is too salty. What are we going to do here? We're going to go back to Mitzrayim. Want to eat shish kebab. There's no shawarma here. Well, why do I have to do that? Why me? Why not them? Whiners. They got Moshe angry. They got HaKadosh Baruch Hu angry. The fact that they saw the miracles themselves, that wasn't enough. That didn't do anything to them. They simply failed. They failed on passing those tests. And how did they fail? They kept on complaining. At a certain point, you just simply need to, just shut up. Just do what you were told. Don't worry. Push on. Push on. You want to be a slave? And you'll be surprised they will tell you, yes, we would have been better off. And then you say, what, are you out of your mind? Just stop complaining. Complaining is, again, we said it a few times, complaining is very negative. Okay, there is a situation, it is an uncomfortable situation. Complaining is going to do anything to you? No. How are you going to solve the problem? We are at point A, and we cannot make it to point B because the road is blocked. What are you going to do? You're going to stand there on the side of the road, you're going to roll your sleeve, and you're going to complain and complain and complain. Stop 1 second. What is there to do? Let's see what we can figure out now. In a survival situation, if you're stranded somewhere in a survival situation, and you're going to sit down and complain, you are the first one to go. First of all, because of your attitude. In order to survive in a situation, you need to have a positive attitude. You need to sit down Remember, I told you the code for survive. Well, we won't go through it right now, but one of the things is sit down. Sit. You have to sit. You have to think. Smile. And crack. Have some jokes. Crack some jokes about yourself. It will get you into a different mode. That's how you're going to make it. Being positive, not being a complainer. It gets you nowhere. And not only that, it makes the situation worse. If you are around people, it's the last thing that they want to hear is you complaining and you whining. We're all in this together. Why are you making it worse for us? Just do me a favor. Just be quiet 1 second. Stop complaining. Let's try to think. Why, are you going to achieve anything by complaining? No. All right. What are you willing to do to help the situation besides driving us off the wall? Anything? No? Okay. Do me a favor. Sit here. Be quiet. We're going to go. You don't like it? Go. You do what you want. And that's what people separate. Right? Listen, I can't take this anymore. And in life, it'll be the same thing. There will be situation, will be a tough situation. It's like you sit there and complain, why me? Okay, what's going to happen now? All right. Chas v'shalom, you have a big house, you can't maintain it. Why are you going to sit down and complain, why me, why me, why me? Sell the house, move down. Oh no, what are you going to do? You're going to start living on your credit cards. You have a house that's worth $1.5 million. Sell it. No, you don't want to do it. You're complaining. You're holding on. Well, I have to give up my house. Yes, give up your house. What's the big deal? You have $200,000 mortgage. You have $1.5 million, worth of a house. Sell it. You're ahead of the game. Go on, do something. No, you sit down and complain. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, and that's what happened to Am Yisrael. They complain about the water. They complain about the Slav through the Egel, through the Meraglim. The spies, they complain and complain and complain. But the reason is, why did they complain? We have to get down to the root of the things. The root of the things, they simply did not have patience, and the emunah, their belief was lacking. The reason why we are in a 2,000-year-old galut is for nothing more than enhancing our emunah and to teach us patience. The question is, do we learn it? Do we have it? This would not have been an issue if we were not the direct descendants of the people of the desert. And believe it or not, one of the characteristics of our generation is lack of patience. Lack of patience. Don't you feel like a little irritated, agitated, when you're waiting in line in a supermarket and the guy ahead of you, I don't know, the credit card didn't go. You feel like your blood pressure, no, you complain, no. How about when you have you're stuck in traffic, right? There's a traffic jam. I don't know, some policeman is having lunch, you're stuck in traffic. You're going to see people going off the wall. They're going on those shoulders, like this, lights up, Just wait, well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? They're pushing. What happens to you when you act like this? You lose your tzelem Elokim. You're losing your human shape and you're becoming into an animal. Because with this selfishness that you have, you're going to destroy any inch of territory in which you cultivated inside yourself. And from the very beginning, lack of patience was one of the main characteristics of our nation. And this is Parashat, could not put it any better, really to the point where it became an infectious disease. It's a problem. We're all infected in that. And we need to understand that savlanut, as we said in the morning, savlanut, patience, comes from the word sevel, to suffer. But to be patient, it is really, or to translate patience as suffering, is really a reflection of this uneducated brat that lives inside of us, each and every one of us, that translate that experience as suffering. Then the more educated one would say, listen, it's there's a meaning in this suffering. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to put you now, you said, the doctor says to you, Habibi, you have to lose, X amount of, you have to go into the gym, you have to, close the mouth and start running, lifting weights and so on and so forth, and your muscles hurt. And it's hard. And he says, I'm suffering. But I say, listen, it's for a good cause. There is a meaning in this suffering. I'm not saying become masochists here. I say, looking for a meaning. So it's hard, it's difficult, but slowly you see the results of this suffering and it becomes easier. Not that you get used to it, you understand. What makes it easier or not is understanding the meaning in it. So you understand that the cramps that you have on your body is good. It's because you need to live. You need to exercise. You're building a new building. You have a new business. You have a new business. So there's a beginning, no day and no night for you. It doesn't make a difference if it's if you're building a clinic or you have a shoe polishing business. At the beginning, there's no day and no night. You work. You're tired, but you understand that this suffering that you're going through, this hardship that you're going through, there's a meaning in it, and therefore it's not suffering. You have to have the patience. You have to hold the gun, hold the nerve, slowly. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. Those who want the immediate gratification is what? We want it now. And then they fail. Business takes time to build. The business that you opened up and right away starts doing millions, that's the business that you have to watch out. You have to cash in immediately because that's not going to last a long time. Good business, there's a gradual and natural growth that is expected and it's going to take over time. But 20 years from now, doing what you're doing, you're going to be up here. I can be up here also, but tomorrow I'll be down here. That takes time. So that suffering is for a meaning. That's not a brat who wants it now. I want it now. I want it now. Give it to me now. If you don't give it to me now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drive you crazy. I'm going to throw a tantrum. I want it now. You have a kid. You go to a store. I want it now. Buy it for me. He says, no, listen, Motek, right now the situation is difficult. We don't have the money. Buy it for me now. Because the parent says, okay, shh. Everybody's looking. I'll buy it for you. Not a problem. So I'll buy it for you. Right now you give your kid the worst education. The worst thing. Honey, what do you want? You want the iPod? You want the tablet? Whatever you want. No problem. I cannot buy it. There's nothing to be embarrassed telling your kid, I can't afford to buy it for you now. On the contrary, you're showing your kid an example that you need to live according to your means. I can't buy it for you now. I'm sorry. If I could, I would buy you the world. But right now I can't. But I really, really want it. Okay, here's your opportunity number 2. Tell your kid, not a problem. Work for it. Do babysitting. If you don't know how to manage your money, I'll help you manage your money. I'm not going to manage it for you. I'm going to help you how to manage it. Work for it. Do babysitting. Do car cleaning for Pesach. Do house cleaning for Pesach. Go put your services out. You have a vacation from school. House cleaning for Pesach. You see how hard it is. And when you make your money, after you work very hard, if you still want it, because then you go say, well, I work so hard for it, I don't want this thing now. If you still want it, then we'll talk. Maybe I'll be able to help you out to pay it. But you need to do something for it. You need to have patience. The worst thing that you could do to your kid is spoil him so he can be quiet. And it starts from the crib. The baby cries, okay, run away to it. Let them cry, it's okay. Develop the lungs. He'll be a big opera singer one day. No problem. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Don't be a spoiled brat from the crib. And a person who is, and that by the way, that needs self-education. You need to educate yourself. If your parents did not educate you, you need to educate yourself. It's your job. And You need to overcome these like internal voices inside of you that tell you be selfish, be an egoist, be selfish. I want it now. To be controlling. To be a person who chases after desires and immediate gratification. Remember the degree we had. A real person, a truthful person, would at the end realize that what we really want and what we really think we deserve immediately, most likely is something that we should stay away from as far as we can. Because it's no more than an opportunity for us to lose control. I want it now. I have to get it. I have to get it. It's a new thing. I got it now. Wait a minute. If you want it now, it's exactly what you don't need. I must have it right now. It's the latest model of the telephone that walks and whatever. That's exactly what you don't need. It's all about you losing control. This, I want it yesterday, is all about you losing control. And society does help you that, because society, our society at least, thrives on lack of control. Lack of control in spending, in emotions, in feelings, and so on and so on. We are not taught to weigh the consequences of our actions. He always says, oh, okay, she'll forgive me. I'll go with somebody, and she'll forgive. She will not forgive you. What happens if she doesn't forgive you? What you want now, immediately, this urge, this uncontrolled desire, almost like become obsessive about that is exactly what you don't need. And it will be with food as well. What they say always, never cook or never shop when you're hungry. Go eat something, then you'll see. Because you're going to buy more than you need. And then what happens at the end? It goes in the garbage. So that is the realization. That is the realization. We need to realize that we are not the center of the universe and the whole entire universe revolves around us. Those of us, among us, who don't realize that, should pay attention that those things that you desire the most are the biggest obstacles to get really what you need and to really become the best that you could become. The Gemara says, Abali Itaer, he who comes to purify themselves, Mesayim beyado. We help him out, right? Habali Itameh potchin lo. He wants to become impure, we open the door, you walk by yourself. But the Gemara says, Habali Itaer Mesayim lo, v'omrim lo, amten. Wait a minute, just wait a minute. In other words, when you look carefully inside, you need to realize that if you're coming to purify yourself, you have a special siyata d'shemaya. But regardless of the help, the shamayim will help you. Regardless of the fact that you have divine intervention in helping you to purify yourself, you need to realize to help yourself as well, and that is what? To wait. That waiting, what does it mean? We want the immediate gratification. I want to become pure. Yesterday I was eating, I don't know what, non-kosher food and doing whatever non-kosher other things. Today I want to become tzaddik like Moshe Rabbeinu. Immediately. I don't want to work. Just quickly. And then we become very impatient. Since it takes things, everything in life is a process. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed us this from the creation of the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world like this. It took 6 days to build the world. Why it took 6 days to create the world? To show you that everything in the world is a process. So when you are engaged in the process and it doesn't happen to you, you give up. So the first thing in fixing yourself, you need to understand you have to have patience. You're not going to lose weight. People want to have a pill. Oh, I'm 30 pounds overweight. Hold on. Let me put a pill in. 10 pounds go. Another one. 3 pills, 30 pounds. I'm fine. No. Those 30 pounds that did take you some time to grow will take you even more time to get rid of. One time my Chinese doctor told me that every condition that you have, regardless of the time that you have it, it will take you double to fix it. So you have a condition for a month, it will take 2 months to fix. It's a process. Everything is a process. And your ability to overcome it will depend how serious you're about really achieving it. And this is true for material desires and so on and so forth, and for anything else, even for spiritual. It takes time. And you should know that the spiritual journey takes a long time. It takes even longer, because that's your real journey. It says, and then when we say for Mishamayim, it says, wait a minute, Hamten, wait a minute. That delay is for your benefit. Imagine I would tell you, you're rushing. And then you try to do whatever is not normal. You're trying to cut through faster. And all of a sudden I will show you, hold on one second, let me show you what happens when you cut faster. There will come a bus, right? Like I will give you this ability to see. There will come a bus that will actually flatten you. So, ooh, let me just step on the brakes. And then the bus goes by and you just go through it. So, oh, you're right, maybe I shouldn't have run. You're too quick. You're too quick. You answer. Somebody asks you a question. Boom, you answer right away. Wait a minute. Think about the question. Think about what he's saying to you. Think about the reason why he's telling you. Again, don't become obsessed about it. But just think a second. And then give him an answer. If you want to be a sniper, let's say you want to be a sniper. A sniper doesn't pull a John Rambo and goes like this all over the place, right? This is not a sniper. A sniper takes everything, it becomes a ceremony. He puts the bullet in, he pushes the thing down, he aims, he breathes, he slows down his breath, he slows down his heartbeat, he takes his time, and he nails it right in. The reason why we never nail anything in life is because we fail to adopt that sniper mentality. Have things under control. With lack of control on our behalf, in return we try to therefore control others, because we need to have somewhat of control. Forget about controlling others. Control yourself. Excuse me, it will be like I would tell you, you need to control your bowel movements when I'm still in diapers. Or as the doctor will tell you, you have to stop smoking when he smokes, or you have to lose weight when he looks like an ox pregnant. And it happened, you know. So the truth is that every action of impatience at the end is not worth it. Any act that is as a result of being impatient at the end does not pay. And every action that was done under pressure, decisions that was made out of pressure without thinking too much on that, or stress or anything like this, would not succeed, and then you will have to work actually harder to fix the damage in which you do. You want an example? That's what happened in the desert. They couldn't wait 6 hours. We suffered 2,000 years because of that. But if you have a way to think of something, to think it thoroughly, to be patient, it would always pay. Things that you achieve, what we call Darkei Noam. Darkei Noam, like Darkei Torah. And the Torah, you cannot learn the Torah. That's the beauty of it. You cannot learn the Torah overnight. The funniest joke, they say, everybody wants, you know about the Gra, the Gaon Mivilna, they used to sleep like 2 hours a night, 4 hours a night. So we used to joke, we used to say, everybody wants to be like the Gra over one night and then sleep in that night as well. It's not going to happen. It takes a long time to learn Torah. To learn Torah, Darkei Noam, it means slow and steady. Something like that would remain to you for much longer. If I'm going to Lehavdil, take you to a dojo and I give you black belt after 3 months, and I will teach you all the moves, you're not going to you're not going to remember them 2 weeks down the road. But if I'm going to make you learn them for 10 years, for 15 years, I'll wake you 30 years later, you still know how to do them. Because it takes time. We don't want to put the time. And that's why we fail. That's why our life, we can't reach the goal of finding the meaning of our lives. Because finding a meaning in your life means, first of all, be patient. Finding the goal in your life, finding the meaning of your life, means, you know what? There's no such thing as meaning in your life. There is no such thing as meaning in your life. Meaning of your life could happen only if you create it. And it will come to you, the moments of light in your life will come to you at the greatest points of darkness in your life. That's what will toughen you up. That's where you get the meaning. There's no such thing, I was born with meaning in my life, I'm looking for the meaning. If you're looking for the meaning, you're never going to find it. You have to create your meaning. Meaning is not something you find, meaning is something you create. That one's for you, Sam. Now, and that impatience will be also, as much as I'm impatient to you, I'll be impatient to me, and then vice versa. I told you, you cannot be one quality with one and then somewhere else the other. You'll be impatient for others. You'll be impatient for your wife. You'll be impatient with your kids. You'll be impatient with what's the point? You're never going to have friends. You're not going to have patience for them. You're not going to be successful in your marriage life, because the first time you're going to have, somebody told me something yesterday that bothered me. The guy was married for a month and a half. He waited years to get married. He was married for a month and a half. They were going on a journey to Canada. On the way, they start fighting in the car. Arguments. I don't know about what. You know what he did? At Muncie, he pulled over, went to the Beit Din, I want to get now. Ma kara lecha? What happened to you? Why did you bother getting married to begin with? You should have worked on yourself. You need to wait. You want to yell, you want to scream, count until 10. And after you count until 10, count for 100. After you count for 100, if you still want to scream, we're going to make you count a little bit more. You're only going to lose. It's a lose-lose situation. You're not going to get it. You're going to feel good for 30 seconds, and then the rest of the 30 years is going to be miserable. Why? So that's how you find meaning. Couples don't say, okay, we're going to head now, because we're two individuals becoming into one. We're going head to head. It's not a problem. Let's try to find meaning in this thing now. We are fighting because we both care. All right, let's try to mold this into one. Let's use this energy, the sheer energy, and try to fuse ourselves into one entity. No, we take that and we break apart. We did the same thing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Patience is your willingness to listen to what really is important in life. To learn not to act aggressively and quickly, not to others, not to yourselves. To control the internal urge inside of you who wants you to go on the shoulders of the road and cut everything out. I'm not waiting. The ones who will give you a quick fix. That I'm not doing. Right? Remember what we said? You see the light is about to change. Put the metal to the pedal to the metal, right? Okay, listen, you're just passing red light. No, it was kind of pink. Just stop. Train yourself. You can find training and meaning in the most mundane and acts of your life. Your wife is getting ready to go to the opera or whatever it is, the wedding. So she took 5 more minutes to put in the lipstick. Never say anything to her. Take your time. You know why? Because that's your test. That's your test. And you should say, thank you. I have another opportunity to find meaning in my life. Wait. That's why you have to wait months for the baby to come. Because if you would not wait for months for the baby to come, as it is, many people don't really care about their kids. If you didn't have to wait for 9 months, without a doubt, most of us would not like about kids. Easy come, easy go. We need to sometimes wait months or years for deep processes, to take grounds and to complete inside of us. We need to live life, and we need to do things in the right rhythm of life. Nothing goes quick in life. There's a rhythm to life. And when you tap into the rhythm of life, you have a good chance to actually make music. And if you don't believe me, do with yourself an exercise. You know what I'm talking about. Start tapping. Tap. Tap. Not now, but tap. Find a rhythm. Tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. And somebody else will play music. Just random music inside. You'll see that within 2 to 3 seconds, you're going to be off beat. Because you're not aware of the rhythm of life. You not believe. That's why drums are very powerful in all cultures of the world. Because it's the rhythm of your heart. Boom, boom, boom. It's the rhythm of your heart. You have to do things with patience, gradually. More important, you have to do things with a smile on your face. You have to smile. It would take you a long way if you simply smile. This kind of a conduct makes every action of your life blessed, with meaning, effective. And for that we say is, patience is bitter, but the fruits are sweet. All you need is just a little patience. Shabbat Shalom. And a very patient Shabbat. By the way, I just want to tell you something. You have a chance to work on your patience. Okay, don't do Havdalah 5 hours after sunset. But during Shabbat, don't wait till Shabbat is over. That's your test. Shabbat Shalom.